Welcome to the Weather Guru podcast for Sunday, July 9th, 2023. We're currently looking at the radar picture out of Oklahoma City, and it is showing the severe thunderstorm. We're going to look at the severe thunderstorm warnings, and then we're going to get into the tropical and national update for the United States. So right now we can see that there is a severe thunderstorm warning down here just south of Oklahoma City that expires in 31 minutes. It's the local 60-mile-an-hour wind gust. Expect damage to roofs, siding in trees. Ardmore, if you're in Ardmore, Oklahoma, or any of the communities south of Ardmore, be prepared for heavy rain, hail, and possibly tornadic activity. Right now, these general showers are continuing to move toward the southeast here, and we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for North Texas, just east of Wichita Falls. So if you're in Montage County and Cook County in north central Texas, severe thunderstorms are producing straight line winds of 60 miles an hour wind gusts and expect damage to roof, siding, and trees. So you can see these storms moving through here. Right now it's just plain rain in Oklahoma City and south and Norman here. We'll zoom in here. You can see these showers here. I'm going to turn on the velocity, storm relative velocity here. You can see it's just straight line winds here coming through Wynnewood, Oklahoma, Ardmore, up through the I-35 corridor there through Ardmore, Wynnewood, Norman, Oklahoma, and also Oklahoma City. But these strong straight line winds here, as you can see on the relative velocity here, the reds are away from the radar, the greens toward the radar here. And there is some coupling there near McAllister, Oklahoma, and Kiowa, but these are straight line winds here coming off the main line here, according to the storm relative velocity here. So back to the reflectivity here, you can see the storms are moving here from Edmond, Oklahoma, down through Oklahoma City and Norman and Wynnewood, Davis, Ardmore, and into the Red River Valley of Wichita, east of Wichita Falls and Gainesville, Texas. Watch out. These storms are starting to bow out or bow echo here. As you can see, this main line here is starting to bow out, producing these straight line winds of 60 miles an hour and gusts, and could be hail involved in these as well, up to nickel size. So you can see here in this one here, the secondary line, this outflow boundary here from McAllister, Oklahoma, down through Atoka, this area here is producing strong winds as well. So we have two areas of concern here. And the severe thunderstorm warnings are lasting for the next 30 minutes here for these counties here in Oklahoma and in Texas, North Texas as well. So that's the good news is that these storms hadn't produced tornadoes. They are producing straight line winds and hail, but nothing really too crazy. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning is issued, not a tornado warning issued. So that's good news. But there is some flash flooding, rain, heavy rain north of the city in Edmond, Oklahoma, as well as the villages. A flash flood warning in effect. Be careful out there if you're on the roads, ponding on the roads. Turn around, don't drown, of course. This is also for a flash flood warning for northern Canadian County, northwestern Cleveland County, and western Oklahoma County and central Oklahoma. So be very careful up here if you're in the villages, Edmond, north of town and northwest of town, and El Reno. These areas here are experiencing heavy rain. As you can see, nothing severe, but just heavy rainfall up here in Oklahoma City metro area, north and northeast of town. They're experiencing rainfall rates of up to 1 to 2 inches an hour. So that's basically just keep in mind. Elsewhere around the country, if I zoom out here, you can see we don't have much severe weather going on here. These are the only severe thunderstorms in Texas and Oklahoma warnings that we have in effect, and flash flood warnings in effect at this time. The East Coast over here will experience flash flood warnings coming up today as well. I'm going to show that to you in the next slide here. So what we have is we have the National Weather Service. We don't have any tropical activity for the next 48 hours. Don't have to worry about that. And this is also for the Eastern Pacific. There's two areas of concern. This one will probably become our next named storm. In the Eastern Pacific here, there's a 90% chance of development, so it'll probably be a tropical depression or a tropical storm by tomorrow here, Monday. And the other one is only given a 20% chance of 48 hours, and then 7 days is given an 80% chance. And then there's nothing in the Central Pacific to speak of. Now, looking at the national weather picture for the lower 48 United States, courtesy of weather.com, you can see temperatures for Sunday are going to be absolutely hot. But rain showers are going to affect the East Coast from Washington, D.C. to I-95 corridor. But out west, it's going to be hot from Texas all the way back through the southwest of Phoenix and L.A. And east of L.A. in the desert, it's going to be at 110 to 115. In those locations, and up into the upper Midwest is going to be hot as well. Hazards for today, according to the National Weather Service, you can see that flash flood I was talking about here. Rain is going to affect the East Coast later on in Sunday, probably late afternoon hours, the heating of the day. We're going to see rain anywhere from Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Outer Banks, all the way up through D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Trenton, up through Connecticut River Valley, and on into New England. So this is the area of concern for heavy rainfall. Like I said, that 1 to 2 inches an hour that we're seeing in Oklahoma is going to spread over to this East Coast here, corridor here. So if you got coming down I-95 corridor, be careful. There will be heavy showers at times. The rest of the country looks pretty good. Like I said, besides the excessive heat, that's to be expected. We're in the middle of summer. So if you're coming through Grand Canyon, Rim Country, into Las Vegas, be mindful of the excessive heat and red flag warnings that are present there. Henderson, Nevada, on through the Indio, California, and Palm Springs Desert. Heat there, of course, and of course into Phoenix, the East Valley, West Valley, and on to those areas as well. Be mindful of the heat advisories in Texas, of course, El Paso, back through the hill country of Texas, and on in through the I-35 corridor from DFW down through Waco and College Station, and in through the Houston area there, west of the Houston area there. There's going to be some heat advisories in effect, not the heat warnings that we had earlier last week. So be careful if you're coming through these areas. It could be extreme heat as well in Florida. So if you're coming through Jacksonville, Lake City, Gainesville, I-75 there, Ocala, Marion, just north of Orlando, and down in through West Palm Beach, Boca, the whole Delray, Fort Lauderdale, Miami complex over to Naples, Marcos Island. There is a heat advisory for you as well. For the humidity values, are going to be the amount of precipitous water in the atmosphere is going to be very high. So we're hoping that the showers will be able to kick in. Those sea breeze showers will kick in later today on the east and west coast. Sea breezes will kick in and help to alleviate some of that heat. But in the meantime, if that doesn't happen, just know that it's going to be very hot. That's typical of Florida this time of year, but it gets excessively hot when there's not much wind blowing around, to help mix up the atmosphere. That too is also a factor that people don't talk about. Now, these storms in Oklahoma and Texas to continue to press southeast, so expect later on today the Texarkana region here, Shreveport, Oil City, Jonesboro, Arkansas, expect these showers to continue to push toward your way later on this Sunday, so be mindful of that. Maybe they'll be severe one, maybe they won't be severe one, but just to be mindful of that as we continue to progress through our Sunday. Let's take a quick one more look at the radar scope here, just to make sure there isn't any other additional warnings that have popped up here, and we do not see any additional warnings that have popped up here, just this complex of storms in the center of the country here, and this is what we're most focused on right in here. And this is going to be the complex that most people are going to be focusing on throughout. The most weather is going to be focused on in the central part of the country, until later on today. Like I said, we're going to get those showers along the East Coast and those warnings and things and showers. So elsewhere, everything else is clear. Be safe, be blessed. Thank you for joining me on the Weather Guru. Please be sure to subscribe. I'll talk to you very soon.